All of my rights were violated. My human rights, my patient rights, my civil rights, and my constitutional rights. I've reported it to the law enforcement, the corrupt. They're the actual ones who committed the crimes. So they're not law enforcement, they're criminals. They're emboldened criminals who have no oversight, no fucking accountability, no consequences, no fucking integrity, no intelligence, no decency. They're traitors to society. I want America to die so bad. All of my rights are violated just because some woman complained that I was yelling, and I only yelled to get her to stop yelling after she violated a police order to cease and desist. So I was, responding to a crime after I reported it to the fucking corrupt ass criminal, gay ass law enforcement piece of shit Mainer scumbags who don't deserve life. They don't deserve life. That's why Robert Card got rid of 18 Mainers. Thank the sweet Lord. And so instead of involuntarily hospitalizing him because he has guns, and that means when the police go to his house, he would open fire on them, and then they would be the ones killed instead of 18 regular people, Mainers. But, Mainers are subhuman, so whatever. It's not like a loss of human life. It's like doing such a good thing for the world, because Mainers are just pure evil. Nothing good comes from Maine. Mainers have no capacity to do anything good for anybody except themselves. And even then, they're just like abusers. They abuse everything. They abuse people, the environment, animals, and themselves. They abuse drugs. They abuse everything. Mainers are the worst people on the planet. I've reported the egregious violations and trauma and damage to every organization, agency, lawyers. Nobody helps me. And then this guy stands up here and listen to what this faggot says. He's a faggot, this guy. I've reported to everybody. DOJ. Nobody fucking helps me get justice. I gotta do it all on my own while I'm being tortured, and I'll show you that it's still ongoing, the torture. Listen what this faggot says. Hold on, let me just make sure you can see. He's a faggot, this guy. Fuck this guy, faggot, bitch. Fuck you, faggot. Fucking faggot. American piece of shit.
Mistreatment, these unacceptable human rights violations accountable. The work of these agents and the indictments unsealed today speak to two fundamental truths. First, there is no higher responsibility of government than to safeguard its people and their basic human rights. As today's announcement makes clear, when an American citizen's human rights are violated, their government will spare no effort and spare no resources to bring the perpetrators to justice. Second, the evidence...
That's a lie. He just straight up lies. And look at the way he has his eye cocked like that. He's full of shit. He's cockamamie with the cock eye. Cockamamie bullshit with his cockeyed, fucking corrupt, crony-ass, cocksucking face. He's a cocksucker, just like these fuckers behind him. All they want to do is keep power in the hands of the whites, the rich. They don't care about prosperity for all. They don't care about rights or justice. They're only doing this for publicity. I've reported the egregious violations of my rights. They committed crimes against me, and they violated me and damaged me. I was a victim of a crime. That criminal was told to cease and desist. She did not. I reported her to the police. They discriminated against me, falsely, told me that what her actions are legal, even though it was disorderly conduct, because she was just letting a dog loose, and so she just had this unleashed dog at large every single time she walks by my house. And so she's yelling and clapping, so she thinks she has a right to disturb my peace because her dog gets loose, when she could easily just put it on a leash as is required by law. So instead of sticking up for me and enforcing law on my behalf, the fucking gay ass cops just sit on there and just let this situation fester. So I have to take action myself. Oh, he has mental health issues. I just have PTSD. That doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to defend myself against crime. And so she was committing disorderly conduct, and I told her to cease and desist, and then she complains, and then they come on her behalf. Just as always, I complain, nobody does anything. Somebody else complains, they come and fucking, make things worse. They exacerbate and they instigate. The police are trash. And so they violated all my rights. They discriminated against me. They committed unwarranted hospitalization, false public alarm, interference with my personal autonomy to make healthcare decisions, and then aggravated assault, denial of all of my rights, my patient rights, to be free from seclusion and restraint, and then to also know why I'm there. They didn't even tell me why I was there. They gathered no testimony from me. They didn't actually even perform any evaluation, because that's the whole reason they brought me there, was to get an evaluation. But the doctor asked me 5 questions and none of them were medically related. And then the last one she asked was, who's your primary care provider? I said, I don't have one. And then she just like smiled or whatever and slinked out of the room. And she's like this tiny little bitch, like under fucking 5 feet, And so she has like this Napoleon complex because I'm like over 6 feet, I'm a man, I'm a full grown human, and she's a stunted ass piece of shit who was probably abused as a child, so now she has to take it out on men. And so that's what they do. They discriminate against me because I'm a man and because I have mental health diagnosis, which is actually more of just emotional. It's just a response to a life of trauma and abuse and neglect. And that's just what happens. Like, it's not my fault. It's not a disease. It's just a disorder from being mistreated my entire fucking life. Because like everybody, they just wanted me to die. And they don't want to provide me anything of nurturance. And that's ongoing. Like, the police won't fucking, ever give me my rights. Even in simple things as traffic infractions. Because like I paid them a check, handwritten check. They tried to say that I didn't pay them, and then they suspended my license. Even gave me this fucking letter that says we don't have to notify you if your license is suspended, even though there are like 6 laws mandating that a person be notified when their license is suspended. And then they couldn't even suspend my license for the reason that they claimed, so it was a wrongful application of law. And so they just do all of these things to me, and now they've been torturing me for 2.5 years because I'm a whistleblower, and that's what they do to people who expose the corrupt government. They fucking torture them, and that's what I've been undergoing here. So this is the infrasound, and here you can see the pascals. It's a little hard to see with my head in the way. So he's like, oh, we spare no expense to, hold accountable the perpetrators. Fuck you, faggot! Nobody has ever been an advocate for me or helped me in any way to get justice or anything. All they want me to do is kill myself or die from exposure or some accident or something. But you know what? I'm too smart to fucking fall for all your traps and your tricks. Fucking American pieces of shit, oppressive government, systemic abuse, economic abuse. That's why I want America to fucking die so bad. And all those Republican candidates are fucking corrupt pieces of trash. Like, there's no one. They're all fucked up, man. They all have major malfunctions, and they're all unfit for office. And they're all vying for control for the wrong reasons. There's nobody who can go up on stage and tell you exactly what's wrong with this country and what their plan is to make it better for everybody. There's not, like, that's all we want, and no one has ever even tried to do that. And they think that you're happy with, like, them just arguing about trivial bullshit. All we want is somebody to just fix the corruption. Like, there's so many tax funds out there that are supposed to be distributed, administered, and they're just held back by these corrupt governors, and the fucking federal government is condoning it. They condone it. they're aware of it. They not only allow it, they expect it to happen. They want it to happen. They want people to suffer and be denied all of their basic human needs, so that they just fucking, they have mental health issues. No, they're just literally being deprived of their human rights, and that's a natural response. But then you have these people in government who have never been deprived of anything. That's why they're all fat, and they always have this smirk. They would, have those nepo daddies, nepo families, and they just get inheritance, and they just keep it, and they just play the system, and play the rigged system, and then act like anybody who's defecting, there's something wrong with them. But no, we're gonna have to fucking change this system. And that's all we want, is somebody to just go up and be like, people shouldn't be out in the streets starving. They should have a place to live, and they should have food. Those are the basic human needs if you want a fucking society that works and for prosperity for all. And we have the means to do that. But it's all just in the name of capitalism. Oh, you didn't work for it, so you don't have money, so you don't deserve it. But, it's not really an equal opportunity for all. It's people who grow up in a family with inheritance and stuff, did they have to work for that? Did they have to work for a dad who cares for them? I didn't have a dad. I had an empty hole in my life. And so what am I supposed to do with that? Whereas other people have a dad who teach them shit, who fucking, finance shit for them, interact with them, give them love and shit. And all I had was an empty hole in my whole fucking soul. And then I have to be abused by these fucking dad havers who just take it for, granted, that they have love and attention and affection and, support and shit like that. Whereas I was basically just there's nobody who loves me, so I'm just gonna have to live out in the streets. So I joined the military, and now I get benefits, military veterans benefits. But yeah, so it's so I just have PTSD, and so I defended myself, and then they just throw me in this fucking hospital. They pointed a taser at my head, so they coerced me to, there was nothing dangerous. You can only hospitalize somebody if they place somebody in a dangerous situation, which I never did, and they were the ones who put me in a dangerous situation by pointing a taser at my head. So I had no choice, so they coerced me into going to the hospital. So it was unwarranted hospitalization. It's a Class C crime. It's traumatizing. Taser pointing at me for no reason. I'm just sitting at my desk talking to them, and they weren't even doing what they're supposed to do. They falsified healthcare documents. That's another Class C crime. They oppressed me because there was duty, parts of their job that they failed to do to protect me and inform me of my rights. And they violate all my rights. And then so I was protesting the discrimination and the crimes that they were committing while they're holding me in this fucking hospital emergency room for 11 hours, and I was just using my voice, and then they were violating my First Amendment, telling me to stop, or asking me to stop. They didn't even tell me to. And then I said, I was whatever, and then he's oh, I'm gonna call the cops or whatever. I was fine. And then the cops, their duty was to, either give me a verbal order to stop yelling, which they never did. And at the time, that would be disorderly conduct if they had given me a warning to stop, and I didn't. But I was waiting for them to give me an order. So the police never intervened, and so all I was doing was yelling. And then as it was time for them to transport me to a psychiatric ward, because there's no psychologist, nobody who understands PTSD, and nobody advocating for my rights there, and no witnesses, even though they were violating my rights with this camera in the emergency room. So it was violation of HIPAA. That hospital is so fucking evil. And a year before that, they actually forged my signature to say that I voluntarily admitted myself to another hospital, which I never did. And then they involuntarily hospitalized me, but then they forged my signature. And they do this all for money. They get thousands of dollars for a person just staying in a room. And that's all they do. So they're like, oh, this person's not working, he's not paying taxes, we got to get money out of him some way. And so they just like force you into this fucking hospital room for no reason. All I was doing, I just defended myself. There was no probable cause, there was no third party informant, there was nothing dangerous. All I did was use my voice to stop criminal behavior. And just because I have PTSD, then that means that I'm somehow dangerous and I somehow, like, need to be stopped. Even though she's the one going on, and that was the first time I ever did it. After I called the cops, who refused to intervene on my behalf. So they're obviously discriminatory. So I report all this, like all of my rights are violated. So fuck this goddamn country. I can't wait till it fucking dies, dude. I hate it. Nobody hates America more than me. And I'm so glad. I love it when, I don't know if I could say that. But yeah, Rob Card did a beautiful thing. I praise him. I'm going to get my license plate coming in a couple more weeks now. It's only been like 3 weeks since I ordered it. Just to remind you. Let's see, not that one. Where are you? There you are. Yes, this will be my license plate. This guy, the hero, because he had all the signs for to be involuntarily hospitalized, but the police obviously don't know jack shit, and they misapply law discriminatorily, and they don't know how to apply it, legitimately. So it's just like clear that these Maine state police are fucking asinine assholes. There's rampant police misconduct. They're fucking retards. Literally, they're fucking retards. They're like lead poisoned, arsenic poisoned. Like their brains don't fucking work, bro. All they know how to do is reach for a gun and pull a trigger. They're pieces of shit. They don't know how to fucking use their brain or, have any fucking goodwill. All the fucking guy had to do was not pull out his taser. He just had to say, okay, don't yell at her again or whatever. Because that's the law, disorderly conduct. That's all I did was yell from a roadway. And it was nothing threatening. And yelling is not dangerous. And I was on a public roadway, so there's no reason for anybody to think that anybody was in danger in any way. And I'm not a violent person. I had no history of violence. So that guy was like completely delusional, and then he tried to like project that onto me just because I have PTSD, but then just because he has a badge, so that makes everything he says legitimate, even though he lied in the police report. He committed crimes against me, and then he had an accomplice, bitch, and nobody's helping me. And then you have this fucking faggot. Look at this faggot. I hate America so much. He's working this agent. Oh, they speak. Oh, the work speaks, does it? That's how you know this fucker's delusional. He's using fucking, what do you call those? Oh, what's the fucking word? Idiom. There's nothing speaking. Fuck you and your idioms. That's how you know a person's full of bullshit, if they speak in metaphors and idioms. They don't even know what they're talking about. Just say what you mean to say in exact terms that are not ambiguous, that are not, misleading in any other context. That's why, I'm a scientist, and then, I can see through all the bullshit. Because language is mathematical. If you say something, you need something to support it. It has to add up, So there's no way an argument speaks. It speaks to. I hate that shit. First, high responsibility. safeguard its people and its basic human rights. Okay, so I'm being subjected to torture for 2.5 years by the FBI after they violated all my rights and falsely accused me discriminatorily. Liar. Look, and you can see how he like blinks after he says that. Ha! He blinks. To justice. He like falls asleep after he says it. It's like a bedtime story for him. Yeah, here's a nice little fictional tale. Oh, the American people care about rights and justice and law and order. Fuck that. This guy's a piece of shit abuser of power. Where nobody is fighting for my justice. You piece of shit! You don't fucking falsely accuse someone without any evidence, discriminatorily commit crimes to get them inside of a hospital, deprive them of all their rights, and violate their freedom of speech, and then falsely accuse them of punching a wall, and then say that that's why you're gonna force drugs on them and deprive them of all their human rights, to deny forced treatment and forced medication, and they didn't even follow protocol in doing that, and they didn't even have good reason, they lied about it, and it's just completely like a violation of all my rights. So they fucking stuck needles into each of my legs. You piece of shit! Understand this, you bald prick. Imagine somebody locks you in a room for 11 hours, doesn't give you any food or water, doesn't give you any attention, doesn't tell you, doesn't converse with you, doesn't interact with you, just leaves you, secludes you, isolates you, doesn't give you any witnesses or visitors, doesn't tell you why you're there, has a camera just constantly watching you, that's it. And then when they feel like it, they just come in with 4 officers, 2 fat nurses, falsely accuse you of punching a wall. You deny it, then she rolls her eyes, says, "Oh, you've been yelling, we're done with it." Then she tells the 4 officers to restrain each of your limbs, even though you were just standing there talking to her. And then she said, "Well, we're gonna we're gonna medicate you." And then she pulls down your pants. You're not wearing any fucking underwear. You have 6 people just staring at your junk for a couple seconds. And then she takes 2 syringes like this over her head and slams it into your fucking legs with a smirk on her face. And it's painful. It feels like you're being stabbed, which you are. And those drugs aren't even approved by the FDA for that reason. And I don't take pharmaceuticals. And I wasn't given a choice or an ultimatum. Stop yelling or we'll drug you. That's an extreme response to somebody yelling. I'm protesting a violation of my rights and crimes that I'm being subjected to. And they don't do anything. First of all they had, everything's completely safe. So there's all these like escalation procedures that they're supposed to follow. And I was here at the very lowest end. All I was doing is using my voice. And then they respond with the most extreme thing, restraint and involuntary medication. Don't you understand how that's the most egregious violation of all your rights that you can imagine? And then you have like Parkinson's from that after that, and you can't play guitar after that, and you like lose the ability to learn and exercise because it strips you of your energy. This guy needs to be involuntarily medicated. All of these fucking white pieces of shit standing up there trying to enforce the status quo for the rich white people, acting like there's rights and that there's laws who protect people. But then you have law enforcement. They don't enforce law. They don't know law. They're too stupid. And they don't care because their fucking police training is all about how to shoot a gun. And then they lose their ability to hear. And they don't even fucking think correctly, and they're fucking disgusting. Disgusting abusers. They always have that smirk. Oh, I'm a police person, so I have the power in this. No. You don't have jack shit. You're a fucking public servant, you piece of shit. You're supposed to enforce law, not instigate. I fucking hate America. so much. Death to America. Death to America. Death to America. Death to America. All of my rights are fucking violated. I reported everybody over and over again. Maine Human Rights Commission. They fucking botch the whole fucking thing. Deny me my right to be present at the hearing. And didn't even make a final decision that they were supposed to do in 2 years, and it took them like 3 years, and then he still didn't even do it. Everyone needs to stop paying taxes and pray that America dies fast as soon as possible. Fuck this faggot. Fuck this little faggot. Look at his cocksucking mouth. Their government. Their government. When an American citizen's rights are violated, their government. So am I not an American citizen? Do I not have a government? What's going on here? Why am I being neglected my entire life? America is neglected of a nuclear bomb or an asteroid or some act of God. That's what America's neglecting, you know. Pieces of shit. You can tell they had fucking daddies. You could tell they fucking never had to fucking struggle for money. They've been little teat sucklers their entire lives. Just enforcing the status quo. Fuck America. It's so disgusting. I hate it. Death to America, God. Kill it, God. Kill this country, God. Kill America, God. Kill this country. Oh, 20-minute mark. By the way, the torturers are, I think they like made the vibration stronger right now. See, I gotta refresh it so it adjusts to that page. Let's see, go to live view. Oh, that's that one. Let's go to this one. Let's see, where is it? Where'd it go? What the hell? Let's see, yeah, so you can see up here, the 18-minute mark, there's this line here that started. But yeah, see, this is constant here. And this is the actual vibration in the east direction. Here's to the north and south direction. Wow, that looks stronger. Whoa. Whoa, it looks stronger in the north direction. Here's the up and down. So my ground is constantly vibrating. I went live yesterday, I even went public, but then I was like, I don't know. It just felt awkward. But yeah, I might go public one of these days. Have the FBI tune in and try to spy on me live. Like they don't even hack my computer now. You can see. Let's see. Absolute magnitude of, yeah, 4 times e to the -6. And then so that means that from peak to peak, that's about half of a wave. And this is 8.5 hertz, so that's like I want to say that's like that's like 17 hertz, right? To say that half of a wave. Yeah, so that'd be half waves occur at 17 hertz. And so cycles per second. So yeah, I should be able to figure out how long that is. So say 1 cycle, or no, 1 second, there are 17 cycles. Okay, yeah, so there you go. That's the seconds. And then I'll do the reciprocal of that. Okay, yes. Okay, so it is 17. Yeah, so it is basically, it seems like, I don't know. Anyway, it's hard for me to understand right now. Trying to convert velocity into acceleration. It seems like it would just be the difference in velocities divided by time. Here the velocity is positive, and here it's negative, so it's basically doubling the absolute magnitude. And I could even do more of like an average absolute magnitude, which would be like 3, which I actually did here. So I already did all this basically. I mean, so yeah, what I'm measuring actually converts to 7.44 millimeters a second, and then that's actually 0.744 centimeters per second. Velocity. So actually I think I multiply here 17. I'll have to figure this out, but this is what I'm doing now. And of course nobody is smart enough in this country. There's absolutely nobody in this country who's smart enough to understand seismicity. That can't be right. Wait. Oh yeah, I mean, what? It's weird. Because 17 cycles a second, and then, so it's like 1/17 of a second. But then you're dividing by that, so it's like 17 over 1 second. And then that would be millimeters. See, that's why I need, like, I requested expert witnesses. I wanted them to help me, like, interpret the graphs, but, like, everybody is too, I don't know, they're just like, they don't know what I'm asking or something. Just want to be like, I don't know, I guess I gotta try harder. Try more. I don't know, man. But yeah, there's like a graph here, or a table. So according to my calculations, and that's G. I can get the velocity pretty easily, because that's just this. You can see that the average is like 3. Then multiply by 2. Get that. But then how do you get the... So I'm trying to figure out how do I get the fucking acceleration from the velocity. So here's where I got that table. It says here that 0.01 meters per second. 0.01 meters. So that's, I believe that's 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter squared is perceptible. And I was getting only, wow. What? No, yeah, that can't be right. Okay. So yeah. How the fuck? Like, can anybody help me? No. That's what I mean. I have to do it all on my own. I have to fucking learn, like, people, like, I have to, like, get a PhD, you know? That's what people are like, oh, you know, you have to have a PhD to understand this shit. It's Greek to me. But, like, acceleration. Okay, so, but it's just weird to me because, like, maybe I'll just divide 1 by the frequency. But then when you divide by 0.01 seconds, it just has the same effect as multiplying by 100. So it seems like, but I haven't seen a formula where velocity times frequency equals acceleration. So you have to, like, do all this shit. You have to, like, learn law, to learn physics and math. I mean, I fucking already know. I'm familiar with this. And then, yeah, the 2 pi thing. So that's what I'm unsure of, because it says, what's x? Displacement from central position in meters. Amplitude in meters. Feels like the vibration got, like, quieter right now. That's weird. Well, yeah, this right here, this chunk here, it's always like about 3 minutes. That's my heater. But see, then there's this constant drone noise, essentially. Well, I'll figure that out, but then some more here, so I gotta figure out. God damn it. Can't really make an argument until I figure out the acceleration. Oh, I'm stuck on the acceleration. Alright, how about I just estimate more of the actual time scale instead of trying to use the freaking frequency and shit. Ah, of course. Like how I quieted that burp. Okay. The fuck? That was an aberration. Yeah, so it's still, as you can see, it's basically the same shit. Same type of magnitudes there. getting some weird shakes. Kind of feels like, whoa, what the heck? What the heck is going on? Honestly, it feels like, whoa, no way. Is it really getting lighter right now? Like last night it was so bad. I swear to you, it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. It's like 80 decibels, man. And that's what this is telling me here. So this is easier to convert. So my infrasound here, detector is back there in the corner, and it has one vertical geophone, and that's actually rated for outdoor use. So all I need to do is get like a power supply type thing, or maybe I could just run an extension cord out there. Yeah, I could just do that. Yeah, I'll just do that. Yeah, I'll just do that. Or not, I don't know. Thinking about it, power supposed to be kind of cool, because then I could actually, like, I was thinking about, because, like, I spent, like, $1,000, well, I spent, like, 900, I spent, like, almost, alright, I spent $2,000, on 2 devices, and then I even bought this fucking, where is it? Bought this other, it's like the actual international standards, organizational standards or some shit. This, I paid $72, $73 for this. And it's 18 pages, and this fucking has a whole blank page that come up. I paid for this blank page. Look at that bullshit right there. But I gave my money's worth, I guess. Holy shit, another blank page, and then what is this, some references? I want my money back, bro. Induced rattling. Yes. Airborne noise. Probably violating some copyrights right now. Fuck. But it seems like it's like all these standard, like there's nobody in this entire country is familiar with, investigating noise and vibration. It's just appalling to me. I even contacted the U.S. Geological Surveys, and they were really incompetent. Like they even calculated they miscalculated the conversion of pascals to decibels. He tried to say that 0.19 pascals is negative 14 decibels. Like, really, bro? You really fucking wrote that in an email. And he wrote the fucking, like, formula. he did it wrong because you're supposed to have a reference pressure and you divide by the reference pressure, and the reference pressure for atmospheric pressure at sea level is like 20 micropascals. See, like, that's something I never knew before, so it's like, yeah, I have this T quote here. Every neighbor can be your teacher. Three. Come on. Good enough. Oh my goodness. So, but yeah, I'll show you here how to calculate it. Still, I can do it off my head, but I'll show you the formula. So yeah, let's get the measurement. As you can see, it's pretty, it's a lot louder than atmospheric pressure. You see it changes a lot. I'm not doing anything to make noise except talking, but I don't think that really registers. So wow, yeah, it's just high today. It's normally at like 0.185, but today it's closer to like 0.195. So actually that's what it usually is too. Yeah, 79 decibels. But it's like, doesn't make sense to me, because like, okay, it's that many decibels apparently, but like, what frequency? This supposedly tells you, so it looks like it is that main frequency there, but there's also these, there's also shows you in this view. I'm just clicking in there. But yeah, there's that bump there, that 8.5 frequency, 8.5 hertz signal, and then it's just weird how 8 hertz is shown to be the one that, is super bad, and then it's also happens to be somewhere it says, like, where was that? Oh yeah, I think, anyway, I closed that page, but I have it here. Here. Well, yeah, basically this is what I wanted to talk about. So, how it's just a constant noise. See how it's just constant like that? So that just tips you off about the source of it. Tonal noise, commonly referred to as a discrete frequency noise, characterized by spectral tones that are pure tone in nature. Pure tones are waveforms that occur at a single frequency. Tonal noise is generated by rotating equipment, like a generator, at a predictable frequency related to the rotational speed of the shaft, the number of compressor, blah, blah, engine piston, blah, blah. Fundamental tone may also manifest itself at a progressively lower intensity levels at integer harmonic frequency. And it says tolerance levels for tonal noise are generally at a lower threshold. So it's not just noise, it's a tonal noise. And there's scientific, literature here that supports that I'm not just oversensitive, that it's like this type of noise, is more irritating and annoying and damaging. Infrasonic sound is experienced as a flutter, so it's definitely experienceable. There's evidence there. It's not just like in my head, I'm crazy because I feel infrasonic. No, there's phenomenon. It's a human reaction to an environmental stimulus that shouldn't be there. I'm being tortured. And then I basically got to figure out my whole body vibration dose. But yeah, you can see here that it says that the principal resonance of the seated, recumbent, or standing human body vibrated in the z-axis occurs in the region of 5 Hz with substantial amplification in the band 4 to 8 Hz. So there's that 8 Hz again, and it's saying that there's substantial amplification of the principal resonance when I'm standing or seated or lying down at 8 Hz. So like this is scientifically formulated torture that I'm experiencing. They know that they determine that 8 Hz is conducive to torture, and that's what they are subjecting me to for 2.5 years now. Unending. There's no escape except if I leave my property. So they're trying to drive me out so that I can't, I have complete discomfort in my house. Like there's no way to escape it in my house. I even have headphones on. It's just I can feel it, I hear it. And then it says, accordingly, current see, this is all bold because this is all like highly important here. I bolded this here. Accordingly, current recommended limits of human exposure to whole body vibration expressed in terms of acceleration as a function of frequency are set at their lowest in the band 4 to 8 Hz. So that's saying that the recommended limits of human exposure to 8 Hz is lower than other frequencies. So that's saying that you shouldn't be exposed to 8 Hz as much as other frequencies. It's more damaging to be exposed to 8 Hz. And that's what they're doing to me. And I have proof of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't refute this shit. So I've reported to the FBI I'm being tortured. Like, there's scientific literature that supports how stressful this is for me. And it's not like a physiological thing. I even set up a doctor's appointment for a couple weeks from now. Or actually next week. Yeah, next week. Just to rule out any possibility of a physiological issue or sensitivity. And then maybe they can even offer help. And maybe they can even analyze the seismographs. Like, there's got to be somebody who understands seismology or just like audio signals or conversions of units, and in terms of like human exposure. Like, there's nobody who understands the limits of human exposure to vibration and noise. Nobody understands it. Nobody knows. Everybody's a dumb American, I swear to God. Like, Americans there's no American with 2 brain cells. Well, I think they only do have. There's none with more than 2 brain cells. Americans have 2 brain cells. That's about it. That's why China is the one who built these seismometers for me. But yeah, that fucking faggot goes up there. I'm literally being tortured after I'm still trying to fight for the violation of my human rights. and nobody's intervening on my behalf. I swear to God, like, this has to be a conspiracy, because, like, every single time I ask for help, they deny me, and anytime they interact with me, they deny my rights, and they, like, commit crimes against me. And yeah, it's just, like, just totally discriminatory, and it's... So fuck this piece of shit right here. This guy's a discriminatory asshole. Well, why is he cocking his eye like that? How high on coke is he right there? That's why anybody with a red tie, that's why, so they can wipe the blood off their nose. Oh, some blood fell on my tie. Just, nobody will notice that because it's already red. Fucking pieces of shit. Look at that, it's actually kind of an interesting smattering, like a nice gradient there. Red, magenta, blue. It even kind of matches the flags behind them. That's how you know this is all a charade. Like, they're all just, like, dressed up. Anybody in a suit is a lying sack of shit. Oh, I have to put on a suit so that you think that I'm credible, even though everything that comes out of my mouth is bullshit. But because I'm wearing a suit, then that means that I am saying legitimate things. Ah, they're all bums. They're all fucking scumbags. You can't put on a suit with shiny shoes and think that we can't see right through that bullshit, your facade. You don't give a fuck about human rights or law. You love to see people suffer, this guy. I reported the fucking abuses and crimes and trauma, and nobody fucking helps me. So, like, nobody should be paying taxes, because these fucking people don't give a fuck about you. Keep paying us taxes, pay us taxes, 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 give us your taxes.